Right, a bit more investigations now. And you see from this, right? Luke 4:30, right? Luke as in look, look and see type of idea, right? 4:37. So Jesus passed through the crowd, yeah, passed through their midst, right? In other words, wasn't seen type of thing, right? Very telling piece of code. Passed through their midst, right? So this is basically the origins of the trans-passing idea, right? So if you can pass through the midst of a crowd, right, that's good type of thing to them. Course 7, right? So this is basically the origins of that particular code. As I say, to look is to basically to see, right? So people are looking at him, and he's passed through their midst, and they've never seen that he's, being a trans, basically. That's what this is referring to, right? So after having passed through their midst, he went his way. He went his way, right? Remember Frank Sinatra, right? I did it my way and all that, see? This is their way, see? This is the way. And what do they think, see? It's a big idea to them in that, right? When Jesus passes by, the only one with the power to open eyes that have been blinded by sin. So you know what that basically means. Metaphorically, like. There's a bit of shy idea there. Hush, hush. Eye to eye. Of course, passed through Jericho as to the cross he went. To pass through such a place. So it's like pass. And then this is the next bit. Jesus appears to his disciples, see? So he's only visible to his disciples, which means he's brotherhood and all that. So he's only, they can only see him. Other ones, when he's in the crowd, they can't see who he is and that, but he just pass through, like transpassing. Yeah. Of course, this is where they get the idea of transpassing. So as not to be perceived as a transgender, but to just blend in and look normal like everyone else. Of course, in the past, to be the transgender was basically the unusual thing. So to pass would have been very important. Nowadays, when you're basically a majority of people who's at large in the society are basically transes, right? So it isn't really so important for them to be, it's not the same type of thing, right? And that's why you see some really weird looking transes nowadays. But traditionally, of course, this was the whole game of it. You had to pass, you had to basically look normal, like, when normal becomes like these people are, of course the game rules change. See what I mean? But obviously you can see, where to get the idea from, right? Of course, in the Freemasonry you have second degree or ceremony of passing. So it must be something to do with, when you've reached a level where you can pass, as a normal person type of thing. pass. Of course, this is like a little, little profane level joke. Passing a little drink or whatever, but obviously, you know what this passing idea is about. The pass grip, which is as you can see there, space between the first and second knuckle. Quite complicated handshakes in it, like. Obviously, them train their own people, and it's reached from being kids who just know exactly how to do it. Take a bit of practice, probably, like. Ceremony of passing. As you can see what all this is about. Of course, you see plenty of photos like this. How well do I pass and all this? Because I obviously want to pass well, and so it don't matter if they're MTFs or FTMs, they want to pass type of idea. I pass transponder. Of course, passing the baton in athletics competition and all that. It's like passing the syringe to each other, like, there's a metaphor idea and all that. Pass the syringe, the bronze serpent. Of course, I call this stuff the passion play, with the R, the Jesus play. Of course, again, the needles idea on these. There's plenty of needles to go around for all the disciples type of thing, really. Bronze serpent and brass serpent ideas all the time. It's like play because, like, they're playing a role type of thing, when you're of course, total trans metaphor with the wings. When you're when you're one of these transes, you're playing the role, it's like if you're a natural person, you're not playing, like, because it's like real, but when you're one of these transes, you're playing a role, see. So it's like, you've got the script and you've got lines and you've got your direction, from your lodge headquarters or whatever, see. So it's like you're taking part in a play. It's all like fantasy world, like a TV show or a movie or something, you're just acting a role out. Because it's not real, see. That's why it's easier for them to basically adapt to life in this sort of society, because they know the rules of the society, which is just to be a liar and a bloody actor and all that. See what I mean? Hence the two-faced Janus idea. It's all about being a two-faced liar type idea, you see. And that's all, like acting and all, and plays and that. Think of all the millions of people who do acting on amateur levels and all that, as well as obviously professional levels. Millions of people, Of course, because it's an interest, because it's just all about pretending that, dress up in a bit of clothing and just pretend to be, whoever, Mark Antony or something, or the spear carrier, Of course, the spear carrier in these plays is a metaphor for being a syringe user, so you know what I mean? With all these spear carriers. Again, hot like the Tin Man with the Wizard of Oz. And I was standing around worshipping the syringe, the brass serpent, and the red tunic idea, because obviously the blood comes in. You know what I mean? You stick the syringe in and get a little prick of blood. Syringe worshippers. And here's basically the symbol of fear, which is these two faces, one happy, one sad. And that's just recognised as the general symbol of theatre, right? TH, of course, theatre. And of course, it's exactly the same as Janus idea, isn't it? It's simple as like comedy and tragedy. It sums up like the two faces. It sums up basically like like traditional life. Like all these comedy shows on the TV and then the sort of the news, the comedy and the tragedy. Just a simple way of like controlling people, basically. Like, of course, Janus, the two-faced god. Yeah, behind that type of idea, you've got an idea of controlling the past and the future, like that sort of George Orwell quote that he who controls the past controls the future, and all that. So it's like quite an obvious thing in a way, like, like a two-faced liar type of idea, but also like controlling, like the past and future, which means basically you control the present. And they're sometimes depicted with the horns, see? Depicted with the horns like Moses, and that's basically Moses and the brass serpent and the pillars and the tablets. Basically, the Moses idea is total home run use idea, right? Of course, transition. Building Janus is where the master mason builds insight. With a key in a syringe. Key in a syringe so you can open the doors in the society and that. You're more possible, right? Anarchy, and much the same as what do you call it, the Sex Pistols, again, syringe idea, Sex Pistol, the pistol what changes the sex, spreading anarchy and all this, and of course, demystifying the occult, of course, exact opposite, more like putting more hex in and totally mystifying everything, right? As you can see by this, in a hex, just sums it up like that, in a hex. Of course, the total trans, injecting yourself full of hormones and that. The old, not one their natural laws, look. Natural laws. The trans talking about natural laws. The Lord of Attraction, I doubt it, like. The Tesla technology. On 9/11, that's the biggest hex going, like, isn't it? Some type of idea that, some sort of electrical weapon was used or something. All it was a building demolition, end of, and no one was hurt at all. Dirty tea. The sacred gift of anger.